Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me $1. Just kidding. It's your friend Jay Victor with another episode of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast, and I thank you for joining me today on this special Halloween edition of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast. A lot of stuff going on, but more importantly, if you're a long time or medium-term sweeper, it's your favorite part of the month, which would be month end, which means tons of sweepstakes ending, tons of sweepstakes able to be erased from your sheet, your database, your spreadsheet, your bookmark bar, however you keep track of them. My favorite time of the month, because deleting, in my case, 30 sweepstakes and getting them off the docket for the following month is a great feeling. And if you're a little OCD like me, it just cleans everything up and then brings your other sweepstakes that are ending in November, December, January, February, March, April even. They do have sweeps already that are ending in April. Brings them up to the front and cleans everything out. So thanks for joining me again today. It's going to be a great Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, if you were not entering into the Mr. Beast sweepstakes for Feastables, October 1st through the 30th, they had a purchase option. They also had a no purchase option where you could send in a postcard on which you had already taped a barcode. It was a little much for me, so I did send in about 6 or 7. I didn't go full bore and do the full 30 days. But suffice it to say, I think I had enough entries. But today's the big one. So on the 31st, which would be Halloween, Mr. Beast is giving away $1 million to one lucky contestant. You could do it via purchase or not. So because I have a 10-year-old in the house, we tend to have some chocolate laying around. And suffice it to say, a couple of those bars are Mr. Beast Feastables. I will be taking my Halloween photo and posting it to both X and Instagram. According to the rules, you can do one of each. If you do not want to buy Mr. Beast Feastables, like the regular entries they previously had, you can certainly do the no purchase necessary option. You will have to get some poster board and write a sign that says I love Feastables, hashtag Feastables Halloween Sweepstakes, if you do not want to buy the bar. However, if you have to go out and buy poster board anyway, for the cost and time associated with it, just go to Target or Walmart. I think we got ours from Walmart. Get a Feastable bar or two and probably save yourself some time. And it's not judged. It's going to be totally random. So I hope one of my friends out there in the sweeper world wins this contest. That would be wonderful. So good luck to everybody participating in the Feastables Halloween sweepstakes. I certainly wish you the best of luck. And going from one sweepstakes I'll be doing to one that I think I'm going to give up on. And just as a side note, Driscoll's, absolutely love their fruit, especially raspberries. I don't think I could live without them. I love me some Driscoll's. However, whenever they have a sweepstakes, they're doing one for $400 in the form of a Visa prepaid gift card. Fantastic prize. Side note, eligibility-wise, open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, including D.C. and Canada, except for, of course, our friends in Quebec, ages 18 and older. It is a daily. However, this is running from October 29th to January 29th. So I don't know what to think of it. It's 90 days. It's a quarter. It's 3 months, however you want to put it. But when you do the entry, and I think it's pretty well known that I use Chrome and I use autofill, they will not accept the autofill for your phone number, so you have to manually enter the hyphens in there if they're not already included on the autofill. I'm not sure if RoboForm does that. I don't have any experience for RoboForm, and as it is, I like using autofill. So I think I'm going to sit this one out. I did put one in because I just noticed the contest today. But I think I'm going to leave that one be to all you folks who are a part of the Sweeper Nation. 90 days on this contest. A great $400 Visa gift card, but there being only one prize, and it's a good one. I mean, it's over my bare minimum of $100. So being that it's at $400, normally I would do it, but just the clicks and the editing required along with the other ones that I'm doing, who knows, I might change my mind, but I think for the time being, I'm going to be sitting this one out. And coming up next, obviously, I usually start off the show with it, but since I did not, I'll do it right now. Our phone lines are open. What phone lines? There's email and chat and notes that you can leave on Spotify. But more specifically, our email here, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. Again, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. And wouldn't you know it, I got multiple emails. One from my buddy Rick, who could have easily called me, but he was participating. He was stuck in traffic for an hour, and he decided to put on my podcast that not only did I tell him about a couple weeks ago, I kind of name dropped him in the last one when I was talking about how this podcast came to fruition. And it was originally supposed to be a car podcast about the car business until I figured out, hey, I really hate the car business and I don't want to talk about it now that I'm no longer involved in it. But also, our new friend, Justin, chimed in and sent us an email. Justin, really appreciate you listening. And I already answered his email, but I just want to bring up his name because, as I mentioned in my email back to him, this is a hobby of mine. There's no money to be made. It's not monetized unless my followers and listeners blow up. I do it for the love of the game, and as long as somebody gets something out of this, it will continue to go on. The day I stop is the day, or, actually the month where I stop receiving emails. So it's a little portion of my day once a week. And I do it for you guys, and I hope you get something out of it. I know I talk about a lot of sweepstakes going on. I don't really post them anywhere because there's so many places that you can get it, from Sweepstakes Advantage, I Win Contest, Sweetie Sweeps, Ultra Contest, so many different boards that you could get them on. And you could even Google them when you hear my name. But thank you all, along with Justin, for listening. Justin said, I've been entering sweepstakes for a little over a year, and my biggest win so far was a trip to the Indeed office celebrating healthcare workers. It included hotel, breakfast all 3 days, and lunch on one day. How embarrassing. I didn't turn off my ringer and my mom's calling. Sorry, Mom. I'm going to have to decline that call and then shut off my ringer. And this is what preparedness gets you. So apologies for that. Justin's trip included breakfast all 3 days and lunch on one day. It also included airfare and credit for Lyft rides. He said it was so awesome, and he enjoys listening to the podcast. So once again, Justin, thank you so much for listening. I'm glad you're getting something out of it. But more importantly, thank you for sharing, and that's a fantastic win. And I might have to travel out to the Indeed offices, see if they have any work for an unemployed car sales manager who no longer wants to be in the car sales business. but we'll see what happens. Thanks again for sharing, Justin. So next on the agenda, and I already mentioned it in the last podcast, but I'm going to touch on it one more time because it's the 31st. It is Halloween, but more importantly, it's Thursday, which means another week of Thursday night football. As we mentioned on the last episode, the Texans versus the Jets. You need 4 or more rushing or receiving touchdowns by one player on their weekly sweepstakes for them to unleash the beast and release 34 of their 75-inch TVs with a retail value of just under $1,500 each. I don't know. I'm not playing him against any of the teams this week, but like I mentioned in the last podcast, if anyone's going to have a chance to do this, I think it's going to be Joe Mixon from the Texans because he's just been on an absolute tear lately. And the Jets with, you could call them the Jets or you could call them the Green Bay Packers version 2.0 because it's pretty much Aaron Rodgers and an entire cast of characters from the Packers who, unfortunately, at last count, I believe are still 2-6. So Davante Adams, we loved you in Vegas, my friend. But I guess you wanted to be 2-6 on a different team with a different uniform. I hope it works out for you. My cousin is benching Davante Adams in this contest and playing someone else until he can actually show up and show out. But good luck to everybody. Since this is not a football podcast, it is a sweepstakes podcast. But good luck to everybody who's entering TCL's Season of More giveaway. There's a shot this week. The best shot, again, as I mentioned in the last podcast, Bengals versus Ravens next week. You got Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow from the Bengals. Both teams' quarterbacks need to combine for 98 or more rushing yards. I'm thinking the majority of that will be from Lamar Jackson, but if he can tear off one big run and early in the game, there's going to be a really good shot of 13 98-inch TVs being given out. But that'll be for next week. And after that, we got about 8 more that we'll be able to do, which some of them look tough, but, some of them look like they may be doable. So we'll see what happens with that. But good luck to everybody who's entering TCL's sweepstakes. So, as I mentioned, it's the end of another month. We've deleted all of the sweepstakes that have ended today on the 31st. Some you were able to get one more entry in. Some, like Snapple's sweepstakes, ended, and that was it. I logged in today. I went to click on that link, and I had noticed that the Snapple Instant Win sweepstakes had ended. That one ran from May 1st until today. I didn't win anything instantly, and honestly, if I had to do it over again, a great amount of prizes, 2,350 winners in a random selection. But if I had to do it over, I would probably skip it because they were giving away some caps and a retro speaker and a mini fridge. But for the length of this contest, going from May 1st to October 31st, they had a good amount of prizes, but none of them over $60, and you had to spin the wheel and wait for it to stop on the inevitable, hey, you didn't win anything, which I'm sure some of you folks, a lot of you folks probably won something. But if I had to do that one again, I would probably leave it off. The Valpak Pizza Party sweepstakes, that one ran from April 19th until today. And 4 winners were getting $100 cash. So either a check or some kind of gift card. Valpak's easy. It's one click basically and you're done if your cookies are on. But I don't know, timing-wise, maybe I would have let off on that one. You also had the Kingsford Fire It Up Challenge. That was a daily entry from May 13th till today. They had some good prizes, and it was basically a little game that you got to play. You were able to skip it, and they had 6 winners, but they did it monthly: May, June, July, August, September, October. And they were giving away, grilling and tailgating and barbecue essentials. But they were only doing it once per month, so a total of 6 people. Now, if you were playing the game every day, the game was kind of fun. You can see how far you can get your point total up. But as far as the number of prizes for the length of time they were doing it, I think I'll still do it in the future, but I would probably skip the games going forward because the game could last several minutes, which might be better off using for sweeps. And my final one that I gave up on early, it was another daily entry, the Fat Tire Weekly Bike Giveaway with photo required. So, good for them. They gave away 26 bikes with a retail value of literally just under $600 at $599, which means, depending on what you're reporting, that is a non-taxable event, and they weren't going to 1099 you. So, good amount of prizes, the absolute right amount of prize at $599, right on the money. But this one ran through May 1st, ran from May 1st until today. And you have to submit one different picture of where you would ride the Fat Tire bike if you won. And if you repeated the same picture, their AI gotcha. So I uploaded about 30 until I started repeating and it started kicking me and I gave up on it. So, suffice it to say, I got about 31 entries in, but that was about it. But who knows? Maybe that's enough to win. Now, if they did them weekly, I never got a heads up that I won one. So I think the last one I put in was beginning of this week, just to give it one last chance for gas, and we'll see what happens. I made it all the way through on these, so I'm not going to say that I hated them, but if I had to do it over again, I more than likely would not. But kudos anyway to all of them for putting out the opportunity to win something. Again, these are just my opinions. There are sweepers out there that don't care how often, how little, what you got to do. There's people that are just beast mode when it comes to the sweeping thing and will do whichever contest comes up. But thank you to Kingsford, Fat Tire, Snapple, and Valpak, as always, because you didn't have to even do any of these sweepstakes, so appreciate it nonetheless. But also for this month, we had some cash being given out and a lot of easy ones, some single entries, some dailies. You had the Steez the Day sweepstakes. That was daily, open from September 1st through today, October 31st, which had one grand prize winner. That was a $10,000 check to attend your favorite music festival. The assumption being is you get the check, you spend it on anything you like, but thank you to Steez the Day, as well as, and I'm going to butcher this name, which is a shame, but it's the Mike Goulian and PenFed 10K sweepstakes. This was a single entry that ran from April 15th to October 31st. They also had one grand prize winner for a $10,000 check, but it was a one and done. There was also, and I already deleted it, I believe it was called Amino, but they had a sweepstakes that ran for all of October. They were a $10,000 sweep. So thank you for all those sponsors to giving out a nice chunky check for 10K. I was thinking about this yesterday when I visited my buddy's convenience store to get one of the 2 or 3 coffees I have through the day, and ran into a buddy of mine who also goes to the same place. I'll leave his name out of it for privacy reasons, and I don't typically talk about this, but he was in a neighboring town of ours earlier this week getting fuel for his pickup truck, getting ready to go do some work. And he had some change coming to him, which was $3 and some change. He told the guy, forget it, just grab me any $3 scratch ticket that you have there, and we'll call it even. So the guy passes him one single $3 scratcher that my buddy didn't even choose. He left it up to the clerk to pick out the ticket. And wouldn't you know who won the pony on a $3 ticket and ended up winning $30,000? And this guy doesn't BS. You know, he plays a good amount of lottery that I typically stay away from. Again, one of the reasons I got into sweepstakes. But sure enough, he showed me the ticket. It was legit, and he's 30 grand richer after taxes, probably 20 grand. But good job to my friend who kind of left it into the lottery god's hands and had the clerk pick out a ticket from the next town over and banging them for $30,000. So let's say thanks to the Connecticut lottery there as well. So good on him, and congratulations on that big win. I'm going to leave the lottery tickets up to him and stick to my sweeps here, but a nice little story nonetheless. And our other sweeps that are ending today, the Nabisco Back to School Snack and Play Instant Win Sweepstakes. I was doing this one for the entire length of the term, and the big prize is a 4-day, 3-night trip for 4 to a U.S.-based theme park. I was really shooting for the Nintendo Switch OLED model, so they're giving away 50 of those. I usually just do the entry. I don't bother with the games. I did do the match 'em games and the drop game just to see if I can shake it up and change my luck a little bit. So we'll see what happens with that one. Could always use a Nintendo Switch, which would be a nice prize. And I did notice they also came out with a red Nintendo Switch, which maybe you'll get surprised and get that one. But that brings me to another question. Have you ever entered a sweepstakes where maybe you would not want to win the grand prize, but you're shooting for one of the lower prizes? In this case, they were giving away 50 first prizes that included not only the Switch, but a download code for a digital game, a backpack, a journal, a tumbler, a lunchbox, and different Nabisco products. And they also had 123 other instant win prizes, which was said prize in first place, except without the Nintendo Switch. If we used it to a theme park, maybe it would be something local, but we wouldn't need to travel to get there. And also the A&W Fall Family Game Night Sweepstakes with Mr. Monopoly. Their big trip is a trip for 4 to Hong Kong with 5 nights accommodations and 4 tickets to the Monopoly life-size experience, which is a fantastic trip. But honestly, for the distance and the fact that my family would not be interested in going to Hong Kong, probably wouldn't do that. I was shooting for the 500 instant wins, which were a board game, 100 mini cameras, 25 DoorDash gift codes. So question to y'all, and feel free again, send your answer to sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. Do you ever shoot for something that's maybe not the grand prize, maybe a little bit under that? Who knows? I'd be interested to know. Pepsi had a good one that ended today, the Pepsi Target Challenge Sweepstakes, which another one of my bucket list items, a trip for the winner and one guest to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana, which would get you air transportation, hotel, 2 game tickets, party tickets, commemorative gift bags, and a $750 check. Nice little offset there if you don't win that one. They also had 2 tickets to a regular season NFL game of your choice or an NFL jersey of your choice. So a lot of prizes in that one. Funny enough, it's ending in October because a lot of these Super Bowl sweeps go much later. So good luck to everybody who got into that one. That was open to all of our 50 friends in the U.S., including D.C. The Philips Ultimate Home Entertainment Sweepstakes. This is the one where I kind of cracked the code myself and put it out there on a previous sweep, but that one's ending today. Their big prize, the 49-inch OLED curved gaming monitor from Philips, as well as second and third prize of some smaller monitors. We had a good one from the Schmidt Sony Oktoberfest Sweepstakes. It was a single entry, one and done for all of our friends in the 50 United States. Basically a text or an email got you in there. And grand prize winner, a $2,000 digital gift card to throw your own Oktoberfest party, and then 3 other people would receive a $500 Visa, MasterCard, or American Express digital gift card. I did come across the other $10,000 sweep while I was recording. That was for Amino Energy, so thank you for the great sweep and a chance at $10,000. Another one that I did, and I did the best I could, but it was for the Bogle Vineyards Phantom Wine Ghost Story Contest. It was a single entry to win $5,000 cash. Submit an original ghost story, and it was judged. I'm not a writer, so, I kind of did whatever and threw it in there. But best of luck. I know there's a lot of creative people out there, and the person I'm thinking of is our friend Carolyn Fensel, the author. If anyone's going to be able to write a ghost story, it's going to be her. So, Carolyn, I'm assuming you entered that one, and if you did, certainly best of luck to you. If there's someone that should win, it would be you. The Hyundai Fun Driving Sweepstakes, one of my favorite ones that came out. October 10th and ends today, so not even a full month. It was a daily, and there's only one prize, but it's a big one. One 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5 fully electric SUV vehicle. Retail value of $41,000. If you don't got a set of wheels, you could use an electric one, and whatever your thoughts are on electric versus gas, whatever, it's a free car. Have at it. So I hope everybody entered into those, and I'm sure there were many others that are ending that I didn't mention. But again, just a quick wrap up of what October had to bring. And even if we're not talking October, I mean, between now and, the 5th, the 6th, the 10th, the 14th, there's so many different sweepstakes that are ending. It's crazy. We might need to have another wrap up for that. But Invisalign's Super Bowl contest with the Dallas Cowboys, that one ends on the 4th. You got one of my favorites ending on the 3rd, which is Jersey Mike's $5,000 in Ticketmaster cash and $5,000 in Jersey Mike gift cards. That one's ending on the 3rd. So a lot of different ones out there. The really interesting one with Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, they're giving away PlayStations on all sorts of stuff. So good luck to everybody who entered that. Our time's come to the end. This is Jay Victor with Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next go-around.
This has been a father and son production.